Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the build. We are now on part 3 of our Enterprise D build. So let's just get right to work and bring in some parts. We'll take a look at those. Be back in a second. Okay, so this is primarily what we're dealing with. And maybe the neck. But for sure this and this. Of course, we have these guys, which we will be mounting there eventually. But this and this is what I want to talk about for right now. So, nice thing about this, they did do some remolding. You do have this for the tube, this mounting bracket. We will have to hog some of this out. We're only going to run 2 sets of wires through here. One set for the flashers, because they're all timed the same, and the other set for the mains. I'm not going to do a warp or impulse mode with this. I'm just going to do flat on, everything's on, and that's it. So 2 sets of wires, and my wires are pretty thin. They're 28 gauge wires, so we won't have to hog out a ton of room. And also I want to keep a lip on here for the tube, so when we put it in here it has something to rest on when I go to epoxy it. I'm going to epoxy it on the inside here up into here. I have no clue what these are. These are new. This isn't in the original kit. I have no idea what they are. On the opposite side you can see little divots on the mold, but other than that I have no clue what they're for. I'm pretty sure these aren't on the original mold. Hold on. Okay, yeah, they're not on the original mold. This is all that's on there. The 2 mount points for the base, and that's it. So I have no clue what those are for, because they're not mentioned on the instructions. The only thing that shows is the tube going into here. So yeah, no clue. There are no windows on the opposing side, so I'm not worried about it. It just, I don't know what they do. Maybe they're mounting brackets for lights, and I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do the lights in here. I'm thinking about just making a strip LED that kind of goes in a circle here and seeing what that does. Now I will have to get illumination out to here. There are lights on the back side of this, and I think on the top and bottom side there are lights. And since this is translucent, any illumination I point in this direction is going to illuminate this plastic underneath all my paint. So I don't have to run fiber optics through the back side here, which is great because this is pretty thin material, and I don't want to have to basically carve through my my phaser strips. Even though I am putting photo etch on top of these, I really don't have to carve them out. So all I really have to do is scratch these out after everything is said and done, and then paint a little red and green dot here and there. The big part in all of this is our trenching of this. I'm going to trench it from here all the way out to here, cut a little bit off the top of here, you can see, so we can run our wires down through there. It's in about the right spot I want. You can see where the wires are coming out. So yeah, I'm gonna have to remove some of this. It's okay if I remove some of this. This is pretty meaty. That's a nice join. I have to trim that off too. But other than hogging this out, I'm gonna have to find a good knurling bit for my Dremel. Not this one. This is a more of a drilling, piercing kind of thing. I'll use this for this, but I'm gonna need a knurling bit for or something better, something that I can take a nice easy time, nice and slow, and carve this out, carve it in. My wires aren't, again, they're 28 gauge, so I don't need to carve a ton of this out. Also, I got the photo etch that I'm going to put on top, so I do want to take out quite a bit. I'm gonna basically follow this line, carve all of this material out coming through here, and then put my photo etch in that groove. So that is the big, I think that's what we're going to start with, because that's the most annoying part. Well, I am going to sand these down. Oh, and I'm pretty sure that this is where the flasher is on the belly. Or at least that's where I'm going to put the flasher. So I'll have that piece. It's just a little extra piece. We're going to basically cut a hole in it, run it up through here, and run a couple of wires to a another, you know what that might be. You know what this might be. No. Anyways, a couple of wires to on one of these single holders here. But I was going to say, these might be mounting points for some LEDs to point forward for the deflector array. I mean, they could be still. Although, why I wouldn't just mount something right up here, I don't know. Maybe it's too close. I was thinking about mounting something like basically either in front of or on top of this for the deflector. Because that's something else we have to worry about here. Alright, I'm going to get to work on this and I will be back. Alright, so I've done a little bit of sanding, as you can see on here and on here, of course on the bottom. And I've taken the photo etch, sanded those down a little bit, and I've put them on the hull where they should go, and I've marked off with a pencil. You can see it goes up like that, comes down like this. I've also cut these out for my nacelles. You can see that just goes right there. I'll pull those wires back just a little. I mean, they're almost exactly on there, but here, I'll pull them right here. They should go right about here. And then, as you can see, they'll just come in and go right along in here and then pop out into the hull. So now what I'm getting ready to do is just sand off a little bit. Don't need too much. In the middle, I'm going to trench out a little bit more. Again, my wires are very, very thin. Here's a... Nope, that's another one. Let's grab these. Yeah, see, they're thin wires, so I'm not going to have to trench out a lot, but in the center, I'm going to trench out a little bit on each side, and then I'm just going to sand these down a little bit. And I don't even know if it needs it. I was thinking these were going to pop from the hull a little bit more than they are, and the photo etch is so thin. You look at that, it's like 0.02 millimeter, not even. It's way under a millimeter. So even if I just glued them on like this, you're not gonna, after you get the paint on there, they're not gonna pop up too much. It's just gonna be like a detail. I mean, they pop up about as much as these lines in here pop up. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna trench it out, actually, now that it comes down to it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trench it out. I'm gonna mask this off. I'm gonna paint this all separately, because I don't want to have to install my nacelles before I paint this and then just mask them off. So what we're going to do, paint this, have this masked off, paint these separately. These just need a coat of blue. And then I will take off the tape. I'm also going to tape off the top here so I don't have to scrape the paint off this. So when I get ready to install, put everything together, like the nacelles, I can just glue this on here, these photo etch pieces on here, and the nacelles, and they'll all be painted, and I won't have to mess with it. I might have to do a little touch up, but that's something I could do off the side. But yeah, I think that's how it's gonna go. We're gonna trench this and see what we got. Be right back. All right, so I've done some work on this part of the hull. I've sanded it down a little, you can see, and I've put little trenches here for the wires, and then fat old trenches down through here for my 4 wires, as you can see on either side. I was going to kind of cut this whole area out a little bit, but these photo etch are so thin. You can see how thin they are. They're paper thin. They stand about as proud from the hull as any of this detail in here. So I just said nuts to that. That'd be way too much work, and it really isn't going to affect it all that much. So I mean, you put this on here, you'll see it really doesn't stand too proud of the hull. Now what I'm going to do is we'll clean this up. I'm going to paint these separately, this and this. I'm going to tape off this area here, and I'm going to tape this off too, because what I'm going to do is when I put the I don't want to put the engines, I don't want to have to paint it with the engines on, you know, assemble the whole thing and then paint it. So that's why I'm doing this, painting this separately. Painting this, I'm gonna again tape this off in here, and I'll paint this up, get the black on, get the white on, and then get the blue on, and then I will epoxy. I'm going to fill this whole trench with epoxy is what I'm going to do. Actually, first I'm going to put the engines on. Get those wires glued in as close as I can into this trench. And then I'll just cap it with this basically. This does go up into here. You can see it goes up into there. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that. It's kind of got to be a all at once sort of thing. So I'm glue this, get these in, get the wires glued in, and then put this up here and kind of set the engine on it all the way. I don't know, something like that. Or I can just cut this down a little bit down to this edge, because there is a little edge line. No, not on this side, but there is on this side. Maybe I'll just cut that down. I'm not sure yet. It kind of helps solidify this. So, yeah, I'm not sure yet. We'll do it something like that. So, yeah, I'm going to get this painted. I figure get the engines. I got to finish these up still. I got to do my seam work. So I'll do the seam work while, oof, that is nasty. Look at that. Look at that gap right there. I'll do the seam work on these while I'm waiting for the multiple paint coats on this to dry. So that is what I'm going to get up to. I'll be back when I got more done. Alright, all of our painting for the secondary hull is done, or pretty much all of it. I got this done. You can see both sides. I still have to get this little knobber done and stuck on there. That'll take a second. But primary paint is done here and here. I still got a little overspray or something right there. You can see the black. I have to just tap a little bit of blue paint on there. We have our photo etch painted up too. You can see those pieces are right here. They are done. And what I think I'm going to do now is work on the lighting. So what I want to do for the lighting is, I think I'm just going to take some strip lighting here and basically daisy chain some 3 strips around. So you can see in this upper portion here, there's really not, there's a few windows, I think. Are these windows, these little portholes? I don't know. But what I think I'm going to do is put a 3-strip here in like this line here. You can see these square shapes. Put a 3-strip right here. Same on the opposing side. Put one down the middle here. And on the underside, you can see we got this whole area in here that doesn't have anything. And alongside here where the lifeboats are, there are no windows. The primary windows are mainly in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks right here and here. So I could put strips right in here on either side, and then maybe the 3-strip right down the middle here. And that should be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do one here, one here, one here. That should be enough illumination for inside this section here. So that, I think, is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get to work on that. The other thing I'm working on is the deflector array. Ooh, got the photo etch stuck everywhere. You can see I painted the this photo etch red. And where's the array itself? Here it is. So all I have to do is put it together. I did do a little sanding on here. Sand this down. Sand the back a little to diffuse it. Same thing on this. And of course these pieces just go together like this. This goes in there. It does go in there a certain way. There's one way it fits, and one way it doesn't. It must be upside down. I think it fits like that. And then this thing just pops on the front of there, and the other piece pops in the middle, as you can see. And for lighting this, again, here's another thing I don't know what this is for. These 3 things. Not sure what that goes to, because that's not on the original kit either. What I'm going to use that for is a mounting place for this one single blue 3mm, And this is enough to light up this whole thing and this whole thing. It's not like super bright. It's going to be subtle, and I kind of want my deflector array to be subtle anyways. I'm also going to build with some styrene. I'm going to build a little housing for this, just so it doesn't overspill back here. Also, I'm going to reflect a little bit of the light with that housing towards the front. So I think just this little guy will be more than enough lighting with this housing and everything else for the array. So I'm going to get to work on the array and chaining together my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strips and getting those mounted. And I'll be back with that. Okay, so I changed up a little bit of the lighting. I didn't do exactly what I said I was going to do. We got a 6 strip here coming down the back, and we have 2 3 strips here. One on the lower, one right here. And this is ample lighting. I cut out a few windows, as you can see here. Here and here, and some over here, and in the upper part, got some windows, as you can see. Just took those out, wired these together temporarily, and it is more than enough light. And I was running it on a 9 volt, and I think I'm going to run this on a 12 because these are rated for 12. So are my resistors. So yeah, even at 9 volts on this battery, that's not the newest battery, there is more than enough light to illuminate those windows. I'm very much so digging this translucent Enterprise. Yeah, this is really cool, you guys. So I got this done. I also did some more work on the nacelles. I'm finishing those up. I sanded and filled and puttied, and now I'm ready to repaint these. And I want to get those attached. This is the main I'm going to run everything to here. These two guys. Everything, like these will run into them. My nacelles will run into them. The top thing here, that'll all run into it. And then I'll keep the, because I got a strobe that's going in here, I'll run those to the strobe. From the nacelles, they'll go into this strobe here, which I have wired up. Where is that guy? There it is. A little excess wire, but we can trim that down. So this is my strobe for here, and I'm going to put this off to the side. I'll use my fiber optic trick again with my my fiber optic sleeves I have here. But yeah, that's the next step, I think. Get all the wiring solidified. I'm going to reinforce this at the joints here with a little bit of my hot glue. Waiting for that to heat up. And yeah, I'm going to get all this together. As far as the wiring goes, I think I'm going to paint the nacelles, get those on, and try to get those wired before I go any further. So I'll be back when more is done. Okay, we are moving along here. I have just attached the nacelles. They are glued in with some model glue, and I'm attaching the photo etch. I'm not using super glue for this because it wouldn't give me a lot of working time, and I gotta mess around with these. I gotta massage them and make sure they're in the right position. So I actually just use some Elmer's clear. They'll hold on fine. But this one's on right now, and as you can see, I've got it drying. That'll dry for a couple hours, and then I can get this one in. We have all our wires run through. I tested them to make sure we got our navs and our nacelles working. So that's that. I haven't done much else but that. I've got the blinker here in paint right now. I got to add some blue paint to it right now, but that thing's in paint. I'm going to add a fiber optic to that, and I'm going to add a fiber optic somewhere in here. The deflector array, I'm changing my mind on. I bought some Createx transparent blue. I think this is ice blue or Caribbean blue. And I'm just going to put a couple of coats of transparent blue on there. There should be more than enough light in the engineering section to illuminate that deflector array. So there's that. I did knock out all these windows here on this. You can see I scratched all those out. So when the time comes, I can just plop this on the top. We are going to have to do a little bit of editing to this. Where these wires come out on either side, we're going to need to cut, and I've already kind of marked it off around about where I need to cut. I have to kind of just chew a little bit out there, enough to get these wires into place, because this is supposed to sit flush with this area here. So I need to just carve away a little bit. But you can see those windows are going to illuminate nice. I cut out more than the that are illuminated on the studio model. I just wanted more lights in the secondary hull, and I cut these. I don't even know what these are. These are windows or what. And I also tried a little bit of ink here in the black windows. That did not go over well. I think I'm just going to use some flat black paint and a really tiny brush that I got right here, and just carefully go in those windows that aren't illuminated and black them out. So that is how that is going. Yeah, I think that's up to date. I'll get back to work on this, and when we come back, hopefully we'll have some more done. Well, obviously we'll have some more done. Be right back. Okay, I'm working on the engineering section, and I'm getting some of my wires taken care of. I had two wires back here. These are the flashers, and these two wires right here, which I have to solder and then wrap, are the mains, the warp engines, the lights here. I still have to put in my third flasher for the bottom and then tie that into here. What I think I'm going to do is actually run everything up through the neck. Put two sets of wires, because I need one for the saucer for a flasher, and then my mains. But I'm also going to run some down through the hole here for the base. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble the whole of the engineering, that is the neck too, after I get that sorted. And I'm going to epoxy the neck like crazy onto this section of the hull, and thusly I'm probably going to epoxy this section onto this part of the engineering hull, just so I have a very stable connection, because that hull, the saucer, is a beast. You can see, bring it in here. It is very large, and it's going to be even heavier after I get everything I want to get in here. I got lighting to get in here. I got a flasher on the bridge. I got to put my impulse engines in on the back of here and get some light into them. I haven't determined how I'm going to do them yet. I'm debating whether or not to just paint the back of this section here, because this is transparent, and that's where the impulse engines go. This little area right here. Just painting that transparent red and see what that looks like, instead of putting red LEDs, because those red LEDs are going to bleed all over the place with this transparent. So we'll see how that works. If it looks too dull, if it looks too pinkish, I won't do it. I'll put a red LED in there, and I'll just encapsulate it in this area back here. We'll get to that when we get to that. But this thing's going to be heavy, is what, it's a long way of saying that, isn't it? So I want everything down here to be as sturdy as it can be, because not only am I going to epoxy the neck, I'm going to epoxy right in here, tons of epoxy to get the saucer section to sit, to seat, to not fall off. You got one little tab. That's what connects the saucer, that one little tab. And it just sits on top of this area. So I don't want there to be much, if any, air in here. I just want this to all be epoxy, holding the two pieces together. So with that in mind, I've been starting to do some of my 3D work for the shuttle bays. And I'll oh, one more thing about this. These are my wires. I chased them in here, and you can see they come here and they come off the back. That's where everything's being plugged in and run through. When I hit these two wires on a battery, let's show that off. You'll see that it does light everything up, if I can get a battery on it. Always the challenge here. There we go. See it? Lighting up all the lights. Got the warp engines, and it's got those down there all lit up. So these are going to be my main wires that I'm going to run up the neck and into the primary hull, into the saucer. from the secondary hull. I still have to tie these wires in, and I have to figure out exactly what I'm doing for the neck lighting. But anyways, I have started working on the shuttle bays. I got basic shapes started for the smaller ones and even the large one. And just doing a test fit. I'm going to have to go back and adjust them. This is the start. This is how this development starts. I took my calipers to these and I measured everything. But then once you get the 3D prints, it always is going to be a little different. You got to massage them. Like this one here is pretty good, the small one, but these sides are way too large. They got to come out. If I put the piece in place, you'll see that. You can kind of see in there and see that the sides here, it's hard to see because of it's dark in there, but these sides, you can see it there, it's way too big. I need to cut those over. And this one I kind of screwed up on the angle. This leading edge should be angled, as you can see on the kit piece here, and I didn't do that. And also the same thing with the sides. I don't know why they're kicking out so far, but those guys can go in too on this piece here. This is all sorts of messed up, but yeah, you can see that right in there, kind of. It's difficult to see, but yeah, trust me, I gotta kick those sides out, which is nice because it gives me more room to actually have detail in the bay. This is pretty good, except for the angle here is wrong. You can see on the kit piece it's more of a curve, and I've got it more at a flat angle, so that when we put it in the primary hull, the saucer, it is nice that they got this little tab in here, so I can line that up, and that's pretty good. I got that lined up, and everything lines up very well. It's just that, let's see if I can show this off. Because of that angle, you can see right there, you can see into the hull. Right along there. You can see right through there. So I'm going to have to make that angle less, well, angular. It's going to have to be curved. So that's where that is starting. Once I get all this done and sorted, I'll be able to go in and add some details and start with that stuff. But that is where I'm at right now. I'm going to get back to work, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, we're playing more with our 3D stuff here. So here is the first iteration of the bay, the shuttle bay. Here's the second. You can see the walls here on either side are smaller by 1 millimeter. And then here is the third. I went to exactly 1 millimeter on the walls. You can see that's 2 millimeters. And then the first iteration here is 3 millimeters. So you can see that. The original one is closer to the 3 millimeters. But the one with the 1 millimeter walls on either side fits perfectly in here, and it looks really, really nice if I can get it into place here, right like that. You can see now those walls fit very nice with the kit piece, even better than the the original kit piece itself. They line up pretty good with the edge there. It's hard to show off, but it does. So that's gonna be my shape, and now I can start. It's stuck in there. Look at that. Yeah. So that fits very nice. And then I did the same thing with the larger bay. We have the big, almost 3 mil walls. Oop, they're right here. Then we got the 2 mil walls, and now I've gone down to the 1 millimeter walls. And again, the kit piece is closer to the 3 millimeter walls, but this again fits really nice up into here, if I can get it in here properly. But yeah, you can see that wall lines up near perfect with the kit piece over here. You can see there's just a little line there. But yeah, that's oh, that didn't stick in like the other one. I was hoping it did. But yeah, so this and this, after multiple iterations, that's going to be my base shape. Now the fun part, for me, I can go in and I can start detailing the shuttle bays. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this top here to allow light into the shuttle bay itself. We're going to do that on both of these. And also went and did a little curve on the large bay. You can see the difference here. The first one has a flat edge, this one has more of a curved edge. The other thing I did is I made the tab just slightly bigger, and that seems to fit. Or is it? Here it is. Here's my giant saucer here. That seems to fit perfectly. I line it up here. The tab fits a lot nicer. It's a little loose with the other one, and it's still a little wiggle room here, but the other one's, like the kit piece, is really loose. Let's put that in there. You can see, you can wiggle that baby all around. The tab doesn't fit very well. Now this tab fits a lot better. You still got a little wiggle room, and more importantly, just angling that piece has, let's get in there correctly. There we go. Made it so you can, now you can't see beyond where the kit wall is. So that is going to be my base shape for this bay. So we have the development now done for the basic shapes, and now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a bunch of details to these bays, and I'm going to print them back out, and we'll see those in a second. Alright guys, we're moving right along. Got some work done on a secondary hull here. I do have my hole drilled for my blinker right there, and that is going to get mounted right here. I have it in paint right now. I'm letting all the light blocking dry before I mount it. And I'm going to splice it into these two wires, which are the blinkers for the nacelles here. You can see I've done a lot of work on the pylons to get them all fixed up. That one's done. That one's pretty much done. I've been doing, I scratched out all the windows on the bottom too, as you can see. And I painted in all the windows. And they look really nice. And the reason they look really nice is because I cheated. I'm not that good of a painter. I didn't go in there with my magnifiers and go very slowly and go, I didn't. I won't lie. I did these, you know, I didn't try not to do them very well, but I just got paint in the recesses, and I let it dry for a day. I went back with my cotton bud here, got a little dampness on it, just the most littlest, tiniest dampness you can, and I just did this. And it took everything off the surface and left everything in the recesses. That's how I did these windows. And actually, don't they look nice? I think they look really nice. It looks like I'm a really good painter, but I just told you that's a lie. I cheated. But if you want to have really nice windows that look like you painted very well, that's how you can do it. I think that's everything on the this hull right here right now. I'm starting to get my photo etch going here. And I started with the neck because I got the neck pretty far. Got all the windows scratched out, got everything painted. Uses the same technique on these windows. Got everything touched up because I scratched up. So these are tiny. Oh, excuse me. These are really tiny windows. Not as tiny as these windows. This is going to be a lot of fun. But these are tiny windows, so it was fun to scratch these out and not get... well, I did scratch all over the place, and I had to touch all that up. But I got some photo etch on here. I got some of the, there's two little lines that go here and here under the shuttle bays. We got these little squares here, right here, right here, and right here. Some of that paint got wiped off. I'll have to repaint that. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, the phaser banks. You can see the plastics overhanging the phaser banks because they want you to remove the phaser rays, the plastic. Which I totally didn't see, and I'm not going to do for any of the phaser arrays because that would mean I would have to do that for this and the hull. I actually have the saucer in paint right now. It's drying, So we're going to bite the bullet, and we're going to have kind of shabby looking phaser arrays. I'm not super miffed about it, because I'm going to put those little red chevrons on either side, and it's going to help hide that unsightly plastic. I don't think they look horrible. That's the lie I'm going to tell myself. They don't look bad, do they? No, they don't. But for the phaser banks, I like the colors I'm getting here, because all I did is I took some of this real brown right here, and I made a wash, and I just put that in the grooves, and then that stained the top too, so it augmented the color of the brass. And this brass, yeah, it's a little flash, but once I get the dull coat on here, that flash goes away and it'll be nice and dull. But I kind of like that color for the phaser arrays. And you have to remember, also, we're going to have different variations of blue all over the hull because of our photo etch. Or not photo etch, because of our Aztecs. We got Aztecs to go all over here. So you're going to have variations of all kinds of blue on here. So I think that'll look really good against this kind of brass color. I still have to make up this. This is what I'm going to work on next here. After I'm done with the photo etch. This is going to get a square. As you can see, there's a nice little platform here. We're going to put a square here, and it's going to have a little tube, 3mm tube that's going to kick out the back, and we're going to put our red LED in for our impulse engine. And we're going to do something similar on the saucer too, but I'm just going to make a 3D part. I'm going to take my calipers, I'm going to measure all the measures, and we're going to do it to it that way. I'm going to use the kit part as a base. You see, there's the kit part. And I'm going to use that because it fits in here very nice. It's not bad. And I'm going to use that as a base for this lovely photo etch piece you can see right here, this grill. And we're going to glue that on top. And I also got the other ones for the other impulse engines. So that is that. What else do we have here? Oh, we have my shuttle bays done. I finished detailing them. I printed them out. They fit really well. I got some paint on here. I got a little yellow in there. You can see those windows. That's how it's going to be lit. Those windows. You can see I added some doors back there, some large doors. I got a walkway. I got some normal sized doors there. I got some observation booths on either side here. And that's pretty much it for number 1. And I've already test fit these. These fit pretty well. Here's number 2, I believe. And again, I carved out all that stuff in there so you could see it. I don't think I could do a decal that small, so I just carved it in there. It'll make you see it better. But you can see I got a hole in the top. You can see the light. That'll make light go in there. You can see it from the top there. Got a little observation booth over there. Got some doors in the back. Just minor details. And number 3 here, same deal. Got the light in there. The number 3, if it'll focus. Nothing focus. There we go. You see the number 3 there. The lines. And some doors. Observation booth. And of course the light coming in from the top. For the lighting? Oh boy. This whole thing is a thing. I am putting a 3-strip. Where was I going to put that? Right here, basically. Right here, right above where these go. So it'll kick light into these little shuttle bays. I probably should show these off, what they kind of look like in place. Temporarily in place here. But yeah, they go something like that. And of course it'll get light from the top, which it's not really getting now because all the light blocking. But yeah, so putting a 3-strip or so right here, right where the tops are, will kick light into these 2 bays. At least that's what I'm hoping, right? Let's put that in place. You kind of see it'll look better once the light's shining in there, but you can kind of see that. I also have some shuttles. They are itty bitty. To scale, to 1400 scale. They are, golly, I don't think I have something that small. They are about the size of the tip of this. See that hole? They're about the size of that hole. And that's a 0.5 millimeter hole, for those of you who are wondering. Or it's a millimeter hole. I can't focus it, but that's how big they are. And I got a bunch of them. I got 2 different types of shuttle, so we're gonna try to print those out and pepper them in the shuttle bay. But they are to scale, and they are very small. Just like these doors here. This was fun to scale. You can see. Where's my pointer? I got pointer. These little things here, those are doors. Those are about 8 feet tall, or 6. I don't know if I'm thinking. No, about 7.5 feet tall, something like that. But yeah, that's how tall that door is IRL. About 7.5, 8 feet tall, and 1400 scale. So that was fun. Getting all the scales right for the. I didn't care about anything else. I just cared about the doors and the windows. So these windows are fairly in scale for 1400. So yeah, that was fun. What else we got? Oh yeah, lighting the neck. Oh good golly, this kit, they haven't done anything impressive. Oh, so we're gonna have to glue this together, and you can see that nasty seam. Yeah, we'll take care of that. I'm not worried. But yeah, this thing is horrible. I'm trying not to blame Andrew Probert's beautiful design, but I'm getting there. This neck is a thing. It's a pain in the tailpipe, is what it is. We'll just use one. So I got to get light out to these. I haven't cut these out windows yet. See, tiny microscopic windows. It'll be a lot of fun. And I got to get light out, of course, these. I've already planned out the shuttle bay lights. That's there. But and the well, impulse engine. But we still got to get light to all these windows. And we don't have a ton of room. We, in fact, have the opposite of a ton of room. Get. This is keyed so horribly. See, there's this little tiny lump here you're supposed to line this up with. And then this is kind of keyed right here. Kind of, sort of. Kind of. A little. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. This is always been a pain. Oh, my golly. Oh, patience. Okay, so something like this. Let's just pretend this is right. All right, how about we go for that? And this is how much room I have. Now, if you kind of imagine that there's going to be another one of these right here on the other side. So we only have about this. Let's see, about like that to play with. But what I think I'm going to do, it looks kind of cool with all the light coming in, is I think, besides this 3-strip, which is going to do more than just illuminate the shuttle base, you're going to get a little light in here. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put a couple of 3 strips going like this and like this. And hopefully that'll be enough light to kick around in here. I'm also thinking about putting something reflective in this whole area so it'll kick light and bounce light all over the place. I can't obviously paint anything in here because of the nature of the kit, but you're not gonna see this because, you know, there's gonna be a giant saucer on top of it. So what I'm thinking is putting something here, is lining this with something that'll reflect and gluing it on here, something like that. I will need to. This is keyed. This is your one key point for the saucer, so I'm not going to mess with that. I will be drilling a hole up here somewhere. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this to the saucer, bottom saucer, and I'm going to drill it out so I know it's correct. Because we are going to epoxy this. That's the other thing I'm going to do. And that's why I'm fussing with the neck right now. Is we're going to, before I even put this onto our engineering hull, I actually want to attach it to this first. And the reason I want to attach it to this first is because I have access to the underside of this. Because I am going to epoxy the ever-loving snot out of the underside of this because it needs it. Let's see, how does this go? How does this go? This goes like that. Right? That goes in there like, woohoo, a little too far. Like this. But I want to reinforce it on the inside here because that saucer is going to weigh a brick. It's going to be a brick. I'm actually thinking about more than just epoxy. Doing something a little bit more advanced. Maybe adding some buttresses, something to reinforce. Maybe some plastic that comes around that edge there to reinforce the plastic. That's pretty. You know, it's not. This isn't a small amount of plastic. This is a nice thick piece of plastic here. But I think what I want to do is epoxy something on the back and pull it around and down into here. Or maybe I'll just epoxy this or something. I don't quite know yet. But I want this neck to be super sturdy. And in that vein, I'm going to bathe this section here in epoxy when I attach it to the saucer. But I think I'm also, just to cover every base, epoxy that piece onto, I'm not going to glue it, I'm not going to mono glue it, I'm going to epoxy it along this line all the way around here. Because the last thing I need is for that neck and that saucer to be on, but it to pop off like a Pez dispenser. That would be the last thing I'd want, because we're putting a lot of weight onto structures, onto this structure, onto the next structure, onto this structure here. So I want to make dang sure that everything is not going anywhere, because I know people that have had that happen, where their whole Enterprise D just basically collapsed in on itself like a black hole. The saucer broke off the neck, and the neck broke off this, and this just tanked, and it fell into a big puddle of goo, basically. And that's what I want to prevent. It's a long way of saying that, isn't that? But anyways, I'm going to get back to work. I'll catch you guys in a second. Alright, so we're getting some phaser strips put in here. The photo etch. Got all of them put on the bottom, as you can see, and around the top here. And the one here. Also been doing some light treatments. You can see some of these windows are actually yellow, and that mirrors the studio model. So some of the lights are just kind of a warm white. So I've been putting a little bit of transparent yellow paint on the bottom here, and I'm following that through on the neck here. You can see yellow windows in there, and on this here, some random yellow windows, and I'll follow that through on the saucer. There are some actual legit blue windows, not just white, blue windows on the saucer that I have to remember to put in. Also got some photo etch back here for the photon emitter. There's a little panel that goes on there, makes it look a little better. Got some of these windows carved out just for light testing, because I got all the LEDs in here. I'm going to be going back with something. This is just a test with a paint pen, or rather a Maltef pen. It didn't do very well. So I'm going to go back in here and put some more reflective material. Got my hole drilled. And let's see if I can move these out of the way. I did get my rear mounted light, I guess, sleeve, and the material, the filler material here built. That just slides in there, and this is the first mock-up here, and it fits just fine. It actually kind of pops in here, which is a surprise. That almost never works out for me, the first one. But yeah, there, boom. See? Just fits in there like that, and then whoop, we have the finished version here, and this is going to be super sourcey. It's a little sourcey in real life, but it's not too bad. I think it'll work, but on the camera it's going to be very sourcey. But once I get that installed, it'll be a little better. I got another piece, the kit piece here, to go over this That's going to go over that, like that. And then I got the grill that goes on the top of this to even augment it further. So I have to just get some light blocking all over this guy. I think I'm safe if I just do the... yeah, it looks like I have to do most of it. The one thing I don't want to do is not light block the top, because I don't want red light to spill into the windows up here, which it doesn't look like it will. So I think I'm safe. Yeah, that looks a little better. See, it's sourcey, but you can still see it on the sides. That's closer to what it looks in reality. Yeah. Let's see, anything else? No, I don't think so. I think that's where we are right now. So I'm gonna get back to work, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so you got a bunch more done on the neck. I got all my windows drilled out or scratched out for the neck on the port and the starboard side. See, I got some yellow paint in there right now. And then there's this. I put a little tin foil on here to help reflect. I got my shuttle bays in. I got my impulse engine in. I got my photo etch in. So that is pretty much ready to go. I'm ready to assemble all this together. I think first what I want to do is get some wiring done on the main body, and then I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this, but it's going to be a little balancing act. I got to get these tied in to the main. I got to jump off those, bring two up through this hole I drilled for the saucer. And I actually got to bring two more up there for the blinkies. And so getting this all together at once might be challenging. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it quite yet. But I'm going to temp this together and light this up and show you what it looks like real quick. Be right back. Alright, so I got temp together with a little bit of painter's tape here. We'll be having some seam work to do. I think I could assemble this as is and snake some wire down from the top here, and we'll be good. I still have to mess around with this a little bit, but yeah, you can see it gonna require some seam work here on either side, and then here, not so much around the photon here, because we got a photo etch piece that goes all the way around here. We will have to be drilling some holes in here, because there are a couple of lights apparently on either side. So that's that. So let's light this thing up, see what she looks like. There we go. See, that impulse engine looks really nice. It's Sorcerer. It looks better in person. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad on camera. I can see we got all our lights on the neck. We got our shuttle bays lit up. The bigger one's a little dimmer. That's okay though. We got some light in the other one. You can actually see around that one a little bit better. I'm not sure why that's dimmer. I think it's just because of the nature of the beast, but you can still see in there. Again, this battery is a little bit on the dying side. Oh, I got some touch up to do on the neck. I can see, but yeah, you can see all our windows on the sides are lit up. So yeah, now all I gotta do is, that looks really cool. The blue. Maybe I'll want to, because this thing didn't turn out so well. It's really gloppy and gloopy looking. Maybe I'll just put some tape on the back of that. That blue tape looks pretty good. Looks actually kind of better than the blue I got on here. Thinking. So yeah, I think that's actually where we're gonna call this one. I was hoping to get everything together. There's just too much I have left to do here. I did get my shuttles printed out. I think I said that, but I didn't show them off. Here they are, the little tiny shuttles. We'll focus on those. Let's see some of them. I got a few in the bay. I got some more to put in the bay. Here's the big one. Just got a couple in there right now. There'll be more. And yeah, so next time we'll hopefully get this whole thing together, and we'll start working on that big old saucer there. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank all my old subs and my new subs. You guys are equally rad, and until next time, take care.